Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Rosie and I'm a research assistant in archaeological science at the University of Cambridge. I am unbelievably grateful to say that for today's video I have partnered with Microsoft Surface to bring you my best tips for staying productive and motivated. I thought it would be most beneficial to be a bit creative here and give you these tips in practice as part of a vlog of both my workday and a weekend, so I hope you enjoy.
Take my hand and hold it tight.
Every day when I get to work, the first thing I do is check my to-do list, and over the years I've figured out that what works best for me is doing my to-do lists in 3 stages. The first stage looks like this, with colour coding by deadline, and I thought it would be really helpful to show you how I did this alongside me actually doing it. So if you find this one of my YouTube videos, it will take you through it, but basically if something is close to being due, then it is red, and if I have plenty of time, then it's green. It's really helpful, for example, when revising and you need to prioritise certain subjects for different exams. I basically give myself a really easy visualisation of what needs to be prioritised, and then take a select few things that are perhaps red or yellow into a second to-do list, and I use Microsoft To Do. For me, this is less overwhelming than just having like a straight, really long to-do list. And finally, and I absolutely stand by this tip, I pick the 3 most important things, or the 3 things I know I will hate doing the most, and these become my list of 3. And this list must be completed by the end of the day. Once you get these done, often it's much easier to then get through the whole to-do list. Once I've planned my tasks for the day, I did a little bit of work on a presentation for a future in-office conference for everyone in the office to share what we've been working on before we go to Colombia together for fieldwork. And a quick tip, if you haven't already discovered these features on Windows 11, you can press Windows and Z and it gives you the options to snap the screen into several mini windows, which is considerably quicker than trying to drag them all yourself. And you can also use the snip tool instead of doing a full screenshot, because then it just grabs exactly the bit of screen that you want. I used this constantly when revising and when reading for my thesis, because I could snip equations that I needed for my stats exam or key bits of text that I wanted and paste them into my notes. Around 11, I went with my colleague Lena, who is a curator at the Museo del Oro in Bogota, Colombia, to the sample preparation laboratory to, prepare some samples. Lena was preparing some gold objects from Colombia for further analysis using XRF, which is X-ray fluorescence, and also scanning electron microscopy energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy. That is a mouthful. XRF is a technique used to measure the elemental composition of an object, and SEM-EDS is not only an imaging tool where you can learn things such as manufacturing methods, but also a tool that essentially maps out the key elements in an object. There's obviously a lot more to it than that, but I'd encourage you to have a look into both techniques because they're super interesting. I forgot I have a Spanish lesson, so I've got to go. It starts in 3 minutes. Here's me doing my Spanish lesson. It was a bit daunting because I just happened to be the only person in the class, so it was a one-on-one, which I wasn't expecting. And also I forgot to book a quiet space so everyone could hear me, and whether or not I got stuff wrong, but I'm proud of myself for doing it though. Next I had lunch and a chat with colleagues and headed upstairs to the lab to start my work for the afternoon, which was handheld, so portable XRF analysis of standards, which is an ongoing job of mine. So those of you who follow me on Instagram will have seen me do this before. It's extremely important to regularly measure standards because these are pieces of material with a known exact composition. So by finding out what your instrument measures them to be, you can see how well it's functioning. What I've been doing is measuring the same few standards every 1 to 2 months to both check the accuracy of the instrument's measurements, but also once we have the data, enough data, to do it, to make sure there's no drift in results over time that we need to then correct on the instrument. after work, I walked to Mariana's house. Mariana is a PhD student in bioinformatics at Cambridge. She also has a YouTube and an Instagram account that I'll put on the screen, and you should go and follow. We were filming a collab where I tried Colombian snacks because she is Colombian, and we bonded over that. Empowered by V, actually.
It's Saturday, which means I can chill a bit today. I really struggled to get out of bed this morning. I was so tired. I had a very long day yesterday, so I was at work obviously from like 9 to 5 and then went straight to Mariana's to film with her and didn't get home until 11 p.m. So quite tired. And because of that, I am having a nice self-care day today because it's so important to have days where you just do things that you love for yourself, for your well-being, for your mental health. It's so necessary. You can probably see that I am still sat in front of my laptop on a self-care day, and that is because I just want to get an hour, half an hour even, to an hour of ideas down that I have in my head for a new research paper that I'm writing. And then I'm off to London to meet one of my friends from school, and I'm so excited. I haven't seen her in ages. We're gonna go out for food, just do touristy things. Now let me show you something really cool for when you want to do a little bit of work but you just can't really be bothered. You're not really in the headspace to write sentences. Use dictation mode. So if you go on Microsoft Word, there's like a little microphone that says dictate. I'll put some pictures on the screen once I do it. And basically, you just speak whatever is in your head and it writes it down. And this is amazing for writing a long research project or even just like regurgitating notes when you're revising in exam periods, because you don't overthink your sentences. Nothing should be right or perfect the first time you write it down on paper. The trick is to have a no delete rule. Just write everything, just splurge. If you write the same sentence 3 times, you write the same sentence 3 times. Don't delete it. That's what a second draft is for. You go through, you take out the bits that you don't like, you redraft things, but your ideas are on paper, and that's progress. It does not have to be perfect. This is why, for me, the dictation tool really helps. The skeleton exhibited bone changes consistent with pathological infection, namely smallpox.
Unfortunately, there was engineering works and I had to get a coach some of the way to London, so this is very much not as self-care as I hoped. However, when I did eventually arrive in London, I went straight to this vegan diner to meet my friend, and oh my goodness, the Biscoff milkshake was amazing. Sunday was a lovely mixture of self-care and hard work, which is how I personally really like Sunday to be. I don't rush myself. If I want a few extra hours in bed, I will have them. I'll do a few chores, and then I often take myself to my favourite cafe to either edit or work on my own independent research. So in the cafe, I was working on writing a second paper from my master's dissertation research. I've just submitted my first paper based on my lit review, which is very exciting, and now I'm writing up the case study, which is the second part. I cannot wait until I can drop the link to the papers for you all and finally present some videos on my research, because it's been such a long time coming and you've been asking for ages. I'm back from the gym looking like a moon. Zumba was great. I always love Zumba. Because I had such a busy morning of work and I'm a little bit drained now, but a method that I've found that's really worked for me is called body doubling. And essentially it's when you use something like Microsoft Teams to call a friend, a family member, a colleague, whoever it is that you want to work with at the same time, who you're not going to have a chat with for that whole time, to just work together. And then you have some form of accountability. And if you don't have someone you can call, you can also watch videos online. For example, I have a lot of videos already uploaded where I'm working in a library, and this is essentially body doubling as well. I don't know what just happened in my house, but I hope my housemate is okay. After Spanish, I ordered Chinese. This was a terrible day for my bank account. I just want to point that out. This is not a normal amount of food being bought out. I don't know what happened to me that weekend. I guess at the time I told myself it was self-care. Not sure how I feel about that now. By then it was going dark, so I switched my laptop to dark mode and also turned on the night light to save my eyes, whilst I did a little more work and set my goals for the week ahead. Dark mode and night light are super easy to switch on, and they basically make the screen darker, same as it would on the social media sites you use in dark mode, and then adds a blue light filter as well. I love these features on my Microsoft Surface because looking at the screen all day gives me serious headaches, and it's so much easier to wind down for bed after using them as well. I'm going to bed now. For the last few hours I've just watched TV, painted my nails, and now I'm going to bed. I'm going to end the video here, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the productivity tips were useful. Thank you so much again to Microsoft Surface for sponsoring this video. I can't believe I'm saying that. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you have any more tips, if you have any recommendations for people. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.